Coming up next, my 5 favorite tea fragrances. I love tea note. Tea note is what is predicted to be one of the really popular fragrance notes this year in perfumery, kind of a hot trend. So I'm gonna tell you 5 really good ones. If you've never tried them, check this out. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose, and today's video, as you saw, is about tea notes or tea fragrances. So these are fragrances that I happen to really enjoy that have a note of tea or a main element of tea in the fragrance. Been reading up a lot on trends in perfumery, and one of those emerging trends over this next year seems to be tea-based fragrances. Could be different. It could be black tea, green tea, matcha tea from Argentina. There's a number of different things, but I'm gonna give you 5 really good ones here. And the first one is one you maybe not think of, thought that it actually is a good tea fragrance, from CARTHUSIA, and this is Mediterraneo. And this one is, of course, let me hold it there. Kind of got to get the focus on Mediterraneo. This one, to me, you know what? It smells like almost, you know, we have here something here in the US called Arnold Palmer, and that's a drink when you mix lemonade and tea together. Really beloved drink. I don't know, there's other names for it, probably all over the place, but especially during the spring and summer months, I drink it all year round. This is what that reminds me of. If you like Arnold Palmer, that lemonade tea mix, just both sweet and sour combined at the same time, refreshing, oh so refreshing. This literally feels like you're putting on, in fact, I'm gonna put it on my skin right now because I have not worn this one in a while. And when I was compiling my list today, it immediately jumped to my mind, that lemonade tea. Oh. Oof, it really is a good one. So if you want something a little bit different, that combination of sweet and sour, Mediterraneo from CARTHUSIA. Next, one of the, I think, classics from MASQUE Milano. And boy, I don't know if I've ever talked about this one, but this is Russian tea. Very different type of tea fragrance from the Mediterranean. This is gonna be more, this is more of a, I would say, I was gonna say Russian tea. This is like a tea from more of an Oriental or Far East side. This is not like a British breakfast tea or a tea and lemonade. This is much more darker. This is gonna be richer. This is gonna be that tea maybe when it's really cold out and you're sitting by a fire and you wanna have a nice hot tea to warm you up. That's what Russian tea is. It definitely has those elements of feeling old world, old school, warms your bones, good fragrance still for this time of year in the winter and cold months and even going into spring. Excellent, excellent fragrance. Again, this is one that just when I put it on, it makes me feel warmer. So that's Russian tea from MASQUE Milano. Let's go to my number 3 pick. That was number 4. And this is one of the most famous fig tea fragrances probably that is out there from Nicolai Parfums. It is, of course, fig tea. Fig tea, and let me just, you know, obviously it's got elements of fig, but it also has osmanthus, jasmine, and mate, and that's the reason why I picked this one. You heard me at the beginning of this video, I talked about mate. Mate is typically a tea, like a green tea. It's very popular now. You can go to any health food shop or even coffee store. A lot of times they have mate tea, but it really comes from Argentina. It was, well, I don't know if it comes from there, but that's where it's been really popularized. We have a big Argentine community here in Miami, and everyone I know from Argentina, they walk around all day with these little mugs with a metal straw coming out drinking mate. And this is an excellent, excellent mate fragrance. And another one, just by the way, which I've talked about many times before and definitely could be on this list, would be Maestro del Cuore from Peccato Originale. That's another great mate green tea type fragrance. So I would actually put kind of both those there, but this is the one I'm talking about today because I'm trying to talk about some of the fragrances that, you know, I normally don't normally don't focus on. You know, I always, like I said, my videos, I see myself more as a curator in addition to a reviewer, because what I try to bring to this channel is for people out there that don't have access to all these wonderful fragrances here. For example, at Osme, you don't live near a boutique like this where you could have just wonderful smells and access whenever you want. So I'm trying to curate and bring things to you that you're normally not going to get your nose on. So that leads me to my number 2 choice from THAMEEN, Green Pearl. Green Pearl, huge seller here at Osme. I know when I talked to Maurice and Bavica, the owners, you know, this is one that people, when people come into the store and they look for a recommendation for a tea fragrance, I think this is at basically probably the top of the list for them to show people. It is just, again, this smells to me more like that kind of classic British tea, that classic kind of, I'm not saying Earl Grey necessarily, but you know, maybe something in that vein with some spices. It's a little bit spicy. I wouldn't say spicy chai, it doesn't go that far, but it is very kind of almost like a green tea type effect, and extremely popular. So if you know, you like tea fragrances, this is one that will always be near the top of the list for almost any perfume house that is talking about it. And that leads me to my number 1 pick, and this is one of the newer fragrances, and I've talked about this one a little bit over the last few months, but this is Indigo Smoke. And I just, you know, I love ARQUISTE, I love the bottles, you know, the founder, the creative director, Carlos for ARQUISTE is an architect by training. His bottles are exceptional, they're pieces of art, but the juice, that's what really matters, right? And this is a smoky Lapsang Souchong tea fragrance. So that is something that I'd never really smelled before, that Lapsang Souchong, which I love drinking, but there's this smoky quality to it that really sets it apart, makes it unique, and makes it, to me, one of the, I think, best fragrances to come out, I'd say, in the last year. Indigo Smoke here from ARQUISTE. So check it out again. If you like tea fragrances, this one is gonna be very unique, very delicious, very sexy, great for men or women, and one that's gonna really make you stand out. It's a fragrance that when you wear it, I can guarantee you nobody else is wearing that fragrance or smells anything like it when you have it on. You are gonna stand out in the crowd. So if you like being different, standing out, being individual, and not being part of the herd of what everyone else wears, actually all 5 of these, of course, are great for that, but Indigo Smoke's my number 1 choice. So I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you guys for watching as always. Peace, love, and perfume.